Number 10. Helps dyslexics. Dyslexia is a widely used name for disorders that involve trouble with reading, writing, memory retainment, and general brain functionality. Dyslexia is much more common than most would think, with approximately 10% of the population having some form of it. Of course, the severity of dyslexia is different for everyone, with some common symptoms including difficulty spelling, difficulty understanding punctuation, difficulty understanding audio and visual cues. Dyslexia is commonly treated through long hours of practice with reading, writing, or speech therapy. And just to keep in mind, these lessons aren't cheap either, usually costing parents thousands of dollars a year. But recent studies show that there may be a better, cheaper, and more enjoyable way of treating it. Recent studies have actually shown that games, particularly action games, have helped dyslexic children react quicker to audio and visual stimulation, and skyrocketed reading rates. In a test performed by Oxford University, dyslexic children who had recently played an action game had a quicker response time, reading rate, and were more attentive in class. The best genre of video games for dyslexics are active games like Wii Sports, word games like Scrabble, and pretty much any action game that requires quick thinking. Number 9. Distraction. School got you down, parents fighting, trouble with siblings. Have you recently read the Communist Manifesto and are now too depressed about the inequality of capitalism to function? Well, no problem. Video games are here for you. Why worry about schoolwork when you can worry about the political fate of Bioshock Infinite's Columbia, or the ethics of synthetic humans in Fallout 4's Commonwealth, or the fate of Tubbs' arteries in Neko Atsu? I mean, like, seriously, he's probably on the verge of a stroke by now. Jokes aside, video games provide an excellent distraction from life events. And like any other distraction, video games have been found to reduce stress, and if you ever get around to putting them down, boost productivity and creative thinking. Puzzle and strategy games have proven to top the list in distractibility, but oddly enough, they also top the list in terms of addictiveness. So play, but don't play too much. The best genres for distracting are puzzle games like Candy Crush, strategy games like Civilization, and mind-numbing games like Clicker Heroes. Number 8. Boost sociability. Don't misinterpret this one. No, we're not in any way saying that spending 8 hours a day in front of a computer screen playing video games will make you more sociable. In fact, current cultural evidence has proven that excessively playing video games is detrimental to real-world social interactions. But at the same time, we're not saying that video games will completely rob you of social interaction either. Like any hobby, video games provide a new source of social opportunities, like game clubs, LAN parties, online play, and of course long arguments over your favorite characters. What consists of social interaction is up to you. Some would say being social means going out with friends to movies or bars, but others could defend that online gaming friendships are just as important. And no, we're not talking about some dating simulator you found on the Xbox dashboard. The only difference is how you think about it. Besides, which is better, going out to a club and buying $14 shots, or staying home and blasting zombies with friends? Either way, some great co-op games are the Saints Row series, GTA series, Borderlands 2, or pretty much any FPS or MMO that you like. Number 7. Teaches about consequences. Have you ever played a game and come to a tough choice? Do I save NPC A or NPC B? Do I side with the Stormcloaks or the Imperials? Do I choose the cholesterol-filled bacon omelette or the high-carb Belgian waffle? Regardless of the player's morals, political ideology, or even the situation, actions have consequences. For children, this isn't always quite obvious. How do you teach a child consequences? Well, the obvious choice is to take him into the room and just beat the have a stern conversation about wrongdoing and then send them to the room. Or in favor of that, consider the effect that choices in video games have on developing or even fully developed minds. Video games that incorporate choices are usually set up with lovable characters and harsh settings. Choices can be as simple as progression of conversation, or what weapon you grab, or even as hard as choosing who lives and who dies. No matter the severity of the choice, there are always unfavorable outcomes. Just had to say that snarky remark about the waitress's mole. Well, now you've missed out on important information that you would have needed to save your father. Now he's dead and the communists have since plunged the world into chaos. But hey, the joke was pretty funny, wasn't it? Some good games for learning about consequences are the Mass Effect series, Life is Strange, and pretty much anything by Telltale Games. Number 6. Teaches problem-solving skills. In gaming, it's not too uncommon for players to come to a problem which the player must solve. This could be as simple as figuring out how to unlock a door, reaching a door, or even defeating a difficult boss. Either way, most problems will involve the player having to use their brain for something or another. Problems like these actually have proven to have real-life effects. You know how going back and replaying a game usually makes it easier? Yeah, that's because you've already solved every problem there is to solve. You already know the answers. These skills translate into real life too, as evidenced by a study conducted by Florida State University. In the study, test subjects who were more prone to playing video games displayed an attention span and had significantly improved problem-solving skills. Video games provide challenging problems to the player who must quickly discover, adapt, and improve their skills as they progress. In layman's terms, video games train our brain by steadily increasing the difficulty, which in turn encourages players to solve problems quicker and in increasingly unique ways. The best genres for training your problem-solving skills are FPSs like Call of Duty, puzzle games like Tetris, and strategy games like Civilization. Number 5. Determination. Skipping over the Undertale joke, video games are one of the best sources of determination. Students feel determined to do good in school because they want good grades, workers feel determined to work because they want a promotion, gamers feel determined to beat a game because, well, they want to. It's just the principle of it, that's it. They could put down the game, grab another one, never look back, and nothing would have changed. There is no reason for them to be determined. But hey, don't start angry commenting just yet. We don't mean that there's no point to playing video games, we're just saying that all in all, being determined to beat a difficult boss or level isn't backed by any form of obligation. It is truly pure determination. Determination to play, determination to finish, determination to stand up and boast that you beat it. Unless it's Battletoads. Nobody beats Battletoads. Usually, determination for one task can be easily transferred to another task, like schoolwork or their jobs. Well, that is if they ever get around to putting the controller down. Anyway, some good games that'll keep you determined are Undertale, Battletoads, Ghosts and Goblins, and of course Dark Souls. Number 4. Learning culture/history. What, video game is educational? Yep, and enriching. While a majority of games are set in worlds other than our own, there are a fair number that are set in key historic parts of our own world's history. And while they may not follow our timeline to a T, they are usually still fully packed of historical content and facts. A prime example of this is the Assassin's Creed series, in which the player travels to various time periods through the memories of his ancestors. Well, that's not exactly right, but for our purposes, it's close enough. The series has long been credited for their historical accuracy and immersion. Well, for the most part. They've been a little spotty on bias and whatnot, but not any more than an American history book, so all's good. Anyway, the games seek to immerse players in the designated time period and are actually fairly good at working historical facts into the game without players really realizing it. Some gaming magazines have actually gone as far to say that it's an excellent game to play before history tests to refresh your memory. Of course, there are many other games that teach history besides Assassin's Creed, like the Total War series and Civilization series. But in Civ's case, only the wonders themselves are historically accurate. Saying that Queen Elizabeth built the pyramids in 1952 and the Egyptians built everything else in less than 1,000 years will not get you a passing grade. Number 3. No disappointment. If you ever lost a game of hockey, baseball, or any other game which involves a winner and a loser, you've probably known the feeling that losing really sucks. Not only is it disappointing, it's discouraging to say the least. The sports site, The Competitive Edge, cites that competitors who repeatedly lose competitions are 3 times more likely to never play in those competitions again. This makes sense, as after months of training and or practicing leads to nothing but disappointment, it's all but too easy to just throw in the towel and stop playing. But video games provide an excellent source of competition without too much disappointment. In real life, you'll train for months in prospect of a game, but in video games like Call of Duty, you learn by playing, practicing, competing. Didn't score the highest in the game? No problem. You can try again in 2 minutes while the server changes lobbies. The fact that more and more games are always available immediately after you finish provides the perfect competitive experience at no real disappointment factor. Some great series with quick competitive matches are Battlefield, Call of Duty, and of course Halo. Number 2. Confidence boosting. Games have been proven to boost confidence, and to decrease confidence, and to do really nothing at all in relation to confidence. Hell, researching pretty much anything related to why video games are good for you leads to nothing but contradictions, repeals, and angry forum posts. Luckily, it's fairly easy to pinpoint the effects of video games on confidence by just using a tad of common sense. Like any hobby, the apparent effects of video games varies heavily based on genre. For example, sports heavily rely on physical strength, but well, chess is a sport too, and unless you count the muscles needed to lift the chess piece, you really don't need much strength to play. Likewise, playing single-player games like Solitaire won't boost your confidence, just as building games like Minecraft won't help you build a house. What has been proven to boost confidence is multiplayer games like World of Warcraft, Counter-Strike, and even goddamn competitive tic-tac-toe with TeamSpeak. What matters is human interaction. You've probably experienced some form of confidence boosting while playing online. You hop into a game, text chat's going nuts, people are screaming at each other in voice chat, and you just stay silent. But eventually you start using the voice chat or text chat, you slowly ease into being social and interacting. And there you go, you build confidence. Don't really need to suggest any games here, just play something fun that'll get you talking to strangers. Number 1. Boost reaction time. Probably one of the most cited benefits of gaming, the link between reaction time and video games has long since been proven. And it's been proven for a reason. It's completely logical. Reaction time is a skill, probably one of the most important skills for a gamer to have. It's a trademark ability of professional players who need instantaneous reaction times in order to properly react to enemy movements and strategy. According to government documents from the NCBI, yep, that's the National Center for Biotech Information, training your reaction time by playing video games and high-speed FPS games causes reaction speeds to absolutely skyrocket, and with virtually no loss of accuracy. Ever wondered why experienced players are better than newbies? It's a mix of strategy, in-game knowledge, and the ability to react quickly and accurately. While strategy and memorization of the maps in Call of Duty won't help you outside of the game, faster reaction times are beneficial in sports, work, and even conversation. Some series that will definitely increase your reaction time are any FPS game like Counter-Strike or Call of Duty, difficult and skill-intensive games like Dark Souls or Bloodborne, and even simple games like Tetris and Snake.